was not a well person when I left. I mean, he was talking about, like, my gallbladder hurts.
Yeah, the fact that you can feel an organ like
Yeah.
that is always been upsetting when people. I've had a number of people say stuff like that. It's like, oh, I can definitely feel my liver today. It's like, you are doing something wrong, sir.
You're close.
And they don't blow their own trumpets.
Give them to me.
Yeah, it's very hard to be around someone who's, like, really into drinking when you're not.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's I deliberately kind of kept myself apart from what I would consider friends from people I worked in kitchens, because they just was far too fucking hardcore. They were decent enough chaps, but if I were to hang out with them,
Are we amazing the audience right now by saying that neither of us drink a lot?
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother finishing that story. Yeah, we're just two sad old bastards. Fuck it.
Finish the story.
No,
Sorry, finish the
no,
story.
you're quite right. That's your observation was spot on the money. That is the fucking story. The story is I bowed out because I'm too much of a chicken shit to keep up. I like we mentioned before, I don't wear hangovers that well. They're like a 2 or 3 fucking endeavor, these days if I really go for it. I just can't. I mentally and physically can't fucking wear that shit, so I'm happy to just fucking call it a night. And it's like, nope, it's time for me to get in my pajamas and slippers now, everybody. I've had quite enough here, and yeah, that's where I am in my life,
Yeah, we're all about the meth now.
The next time I get shit faced, there's gonna be no hangover because I want to make sure it's the last time I fucking do anything.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, though, I don't know. I think I might rather recover from a night. I don't know. I mean, meth, that could be rough. I've never even seen it. I wouldn't really know what to do. Is it like a crack pipe? Oh, I'm such a square. I don't drink. I don't do meth.
I know because
loser.
I know about meth, you see, because I watched it on Louis Theroux. And it's definitely a pipe
I thought you were going
jobber.
to say because we watched Breaking Bad. I was going to say the Breaking Bad theory, Damien. Fucking hell, what is happening to my mind?
I thought Louis Theroux would be more delightfully middle class.
Louis Theroux's, yeah. And I've not seen that. What was he up to? Was he smoking meth with people? Or was he just why are you smoking meth? I like it. Do you think there's something wrong with you? Nah.
It was basically like that. It's like, can you not hear your baby crying in the other room? Yeah. Does that not upset you? No, I'm smoking meth. I see. And for many people, the stories were all the same.
I mean, we've talked about the alcohol one, where Louis Theroux just essentially interviews people who are hardcore, I am putting my life on my line alcoholics.
Yeah.
And there's that guy in the hospital bed who he's like perfectly fine.
But
he doesn't feel ill.
His, like, distended stomach or something.
They have to like, I mean, bleed isn't the right word. They have to essentially drain his stomach because water is just constantly accumulating on his body. And there's a bit where Louis Theroux says, so obviously the doctors told you this, but how do you feel about having a 95% chance of being dead in 3 months? And the guy's like, well, I don't have a 95% chance of being dead in 3 months. And Louis Theroux says, no, statistically, 95% of everyone in your position right now is dead in 3 months. And the guy just goes, well, that's not going to be me. And like Louis Theroux just, I don't know if he doesn't have an answer. I feel like he does have an answer. And his answer is just persistent glaring.
Yes, yeah.
Just looks at him like, you are a tool. And I guess that's just addiction for you, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
It just takes over that bit of your brain, which is like, why are we doing this? Why are we losing our teeth over this?
I mean, at that point, people have just resigned themselves to slowly destroy themselves. I'm sure part of them would say that they're just too chicken shit to actually jump in front of a fucking bus, so they're content just to get themselves seriously fucking ill over a long period of time. What a ride it will be.
Wow, that is incredibly harsh. Every drug addict is really suicidal, but too cowardly to do it.
No. I mean, you can't. Well, I don't keep this little bit in here, but I'm my,
Okay.
this is something
I'm pressing super record right now.
Of course, yeah. Turn up the volume.
Yeah.
Gain it back. No, I suspect the same.
It's
thing
not
with
going to be
my-
about the Italians again, is it, Damien?
No.
Okay, I'll get rid of it. I promise. Yeah. Oh my God! Oh God! I can't believe you said that. That's terrible. No human being could possibly believe those things.
Ah, well, you know me well enough by now, for fuck's sake. Jesus, man.
You, sir, are worse than Hitler. And specifically, like 1939 Hitler. Hitler when he thought he was winning Hitler. That was the worst Hitler.
I fancied myself as one of those kind of 1920s up-and-coming Hitlers, you know, where he had everything to prove.
He's working out in the prison gym every day.
So we first started growing the tash, mate. Fucking beautiful. Won him the respect of his peers.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ich habe den Finger. Und 2 Hand, 2 Hand.
Jesus.
Ich habe 2 Beine.
That's fine, Bein. Oh, yeah, no, I do
Eine
remember that.
Beine!
Yeah, that was it. I remember going shithouse mental in the corridors because we were split up into groups to learn that song. This was, what, year 7, because we were in the old building. For whatever reason, they had us in, like, the corridors, and I don't
Not
think I
enough
knew...
room for class today, children. Sit down in the fucking corridor.
Well, yeah, I seem to remember there was Sean and Russell, but I don't... If this was year 7, I didn't know you yet, but I guess they gave everyone this fucking crappy little cassette tape, this shitty little song, and it worked well enough. I mean, I learned the numbers and parts of the body at the same time, miraculously. And
Like you didn't know. Oh, I see. You mean in German? Like you didn't
Yes,
know that
yeah.
that was your hand. Oh, this
Yes,
is a
yeah.
hand. Yeah.
It's the only German that I still know, so it's very effective. We're talking like almost 20 years now, but it was they didn't have 5 of anything. So when it got to 5, it was minor biner, which I think is that my legs or something. Correct me if I'm wrong.
My
maybe-
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
My lady leg.
for whatever reason, they'd all have to do it in a round and practice this because we had to go back and sing to the fucking class. You remember we had to do shit like that? How fucking tolerable that I have to sing as part of a fucking school curriculum. But for whatever reason, I had no shame as a child when doing this stuff. So when it came to my bit, which was minor biner, I was very fucking proud. I used to fucking belt this in the most special voice I could muster up. And for whatever reason, there were no noise complaints. You know, there were classrooms either side of us. So we were in a stairwell, no more than fucking 10 feet away. There's no way my voice did not travel through those fucking walls, but they were quite happy just to let me go on. Maybe it's because if they tried to stop me, they might think the parents might get involved. It's like, why are you telling my son to calm down? Don't you know he has a condition?
Wow. I remember in the first secondary school I went to, the first, second, third school I went to. I remember obviously it was like a structure built in the 1960s, which was probably the most depressing building you could imagine. Like even in summer, there would be so little light in the corridors that the fluorescent lights would have to light everything up, and everything was like I don't want to say it was like lino tiles on the floor. I think it was actually stone floor, but it just looked like that. But
Right.
it was like this sort of like dirty baby blue, like almost grey, and it was just awful. And I remember we had one of the better year 7 forms, which meant you could actually get the class to be silent sometimes. And once the teacher went, everyone quiet now, everyone quiet and listen. And we just listened to the class above us, and it was honestly like a prison. Like it was just bizarre, like hooting and running around and everything. And I don't think that's like, particular to that school or anything. I just, yeah. Well, I have nothing to say other than school was a waste of time, wasn't it? We've never said that before.
No. But I'm just remembering, the fact that things in the particularly like the year 7 was that last year they really did stuff like that. Maybe they kind of upgraded the curriculum after that, but for like kids, the idea of singing for a lesson was fucking awful. I remember drama lessons as well, and I'm the idea that I have to get up and perform a play. I couldn't do that shit now. I remember, I.
What are you talking about? You're swash.
But no, not at all. I mean, all right. If I'm on your payroll, then sure, I sign up for that stuff. But I was having discussion at work because they have these briefings for like the front of house stuff, and the kitchen is not really involved, and it's just as well because I was asking about what do they really talk about there. Normally they talk about breakdowns of covers and stuff like that, any special functions, here's what we do. And maybe they'll refresh like allergy information on certain dishes. But every now and again I'll hear like laughter and applause, all this kind of stuff. It's like, what can they really be talking about? And it goes on for like 20 minutes. This is like 5 minutes of information, really. I used to dole out this stuff and be like, you do this, this, this. And everyone go get coffee, fuck off a bit, have a cigarette, whatever. But they seem to make a big fucking spectacle out of it. And I found out that they go around and the GM... odious little fucking pencil pushing fuckhead likes to go around. Everyone has to kind of introduce themselves, talk about their position, how long they've been.
You've not told anyone at your work about this podcast, have you, Damien?
No.
Okay,
Definitely not
right.
The GM.
What's his name? What's his first name?
Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Don't fire him too quickly. But he likes to get a very special personal question into the round every briefing, and I just and I think the last one they told me about was what would be your dream holiday, and they threatened to kind of put me into one of these fucking briefings. It's like, if you do that, I'm just walking straight the fuck out. I mean, what on earth has this got to do with absolutely fucking anything? Puts me in mind of like these kind of company like team building exercises. I've known a few of those where they ask for like for role play, and I've always kind of slinked to the back of the room, just like hearts in my throat. There's no way I'm getting up and doing this fucking bullshit. I won't do it. Absolutely not. Just the notion that I was told to do that as a kid and I was on board for it. No, not at all. Stuff's vile.
So how did you get out of it?
Oh no, they merely threatened to put me in the next briefing because every now and again they'll have like one of the senior chefs in just to help them tell them the information they actually need. But then every now and again they'll have one of the junior ones to go in just to be part of the team, maybe talk about bringing some food for a tasting and say, we have to kind of demonstrate what we remember about the dishes in terms of allergy information, who can eat this, and this. They said that, if you give us any more attitude, then we'll send you in next tomorrow to do this fucking bullshit. And it's like, all right, we'll go. I'll keep my nose down.
Okay, well, I like the way that they were aware enough at least to threaten that.
Oh yeah, no. I made it emphatically clear. I think that's fucking disgusting what they're doing in there. And if you ever catch me in there, for the love of God, please put a bullet between my fucking eyes. Maybe I shouldn't have made that too clear because they can always threaten that with me now.
Yeah. What is your dream holiday?
Oh man. I mean, I could quite easily hang up right now.
Really? You couldn't give like, if someone like put you on the spot, you couldn't just give like a generic answer. Like, I'd go to Fiji and
I'd go to Florida and fight some meth gators, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess I get bored very easily. Ha ha ha. See you next week. I get bored very easily, so like every holiday I've ever been on has been boring as fuck. I really need something to do. So like I guess my dream holiday would be like the uncle I didn't know I had has died and he's left me a map to some treasure and I've got to go on an adventure or something. Even if that adventure just involves, getting an airplane and several tuk-tuks and having an argument with a few drivers or something. Maybe there's a dark alley involved or something. Even if it's not actually that exciting, at least there would be like a reason for me to go places. Because I've done so much of traveling where it's like, I'll go here now, I'll go here now, I'll go here now. And there's no tension. Unless I'm like, right, okay, my train leaves in half an hour, so I'm going to have a wank.
But
and I'm
George,
not horny.
This is the airport lounge. Then why are we not at the train station, damn it?
Damn you, shiphole! Oh yeah. Well, anyway, there was a segue there like some time back, but I missed it. Something to do with like year 7. What was happening in year 7? Ooh, Pokemon was popular, and I sort of wanted to say that I often think to myself, I see people talking about fucking Pokemon all the time, and obviously, if you look at the history of what I would call the nostalgia industry, we are in that exact demographic now, because I haven't seen a flares in many, many years. But when I was a kid, there were flares everywhere. Do you remember flares?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell people? You know what I mean? The pub
You're talking about
flares.
like flared trousers, you mean?
No, the pub flares. It was a chain of pubs called
Oh, no,
Flares.
fuck no. I've never heard of flares in my life. No, what's this? Well, it's a pub chain.
It's a chain of pubs that was like 60s themed.
No.
Right? So it was all like psychedelic and everything. Yeah,
Right,
and,
okay.
and I guess 70s. And then by the time we started drinking and noticing pubs more, she looks cute, that pub over there.
Said 12-year-old George.
You had normal pubs and like other pubs, I guess, and 80s shit.
Yeah.
And now we're in the era of the sort of late 90s, 2000s. It's the demographic of sort of like late 20s to sort of mid 30s, people who've got disposable income, and therefore you can sell them shit that reminds them of, their childhood. Because when you're like 25, you're still too young to reminisce because you've still got a future. And when you're old, I guess you've just you've accepted it now. You don't fucking get interested in cartoons or anything. Your life is manila envelopes.
Because they've got to fucking drain your stomach at the hospital tomorrow. It's like, oh, fuck it. I'm probably not going to be here in 3 months, so no effort required.
You've accepted that everyone dies, and probably for most people there is pain and awareness of the fact that you are dying at the end, and that's going to be horrible. And no matter how good the life you lead is, or all of the experiences, the last thing you're going to do is die, and it's going to be shit. That takes over, rather than from thinking about, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I liked Noggin the Nog, whatever it's called, Battery Boy.
One of the Hut song. It was my favorite video game on the Sega
So really,
Mega Drive.
my point of all this was just that I often wonder, like, I see people talking about Pokemon on YouTube and in popular culture, and it's still a massive thing, and they're still launching video games and stuff. And I was thinking, I was first thinking I've obviously reached the age where I just cannot see what children are into. Like, I just cannot connect to that. I cannot even find it. I have no idea. Like, if you were to say to me, say a children's program people watch now, or children watch people watch now, Jesus Christ, children watch now, I'd have to be like, Dora the Explorer? I mean, that's at least 10 years old. I've no idea what... I mean, is Peppa Pig still on? Because there's got to be new stuff that I just have never heard about, would not know if I saw it. And then I sort of think about that, and I think about, well, no, because it's almost like we've reached this bizarre point of cultural stagnation where it's just in perpetuity now. It's, it's fucking Spider-Man. Spider-Man's still a cool thing for kids, just as it was. And Pokemon
and for
is
young
still
adults,
sold to kids, and Star Wars is still sold to kids. There hasn't been a new franchise exactly to take over. I don't know if that's true or not, but I sort of wonder that. Because listen, when my dad was a kid, I've seen these in the attic. He had like Dan Dare cards, and I guess Dan Dare was sort of like a superhero, like a Buck Rogers type, and all this shit I'd never heard of. That obviously died out with his generation, leaving childhood. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't Pokemon die out with us, becoming adults?
Too many man-children, I suppose. Do you
think it's that, or because it must be children consuming this still?
Yeah, I mean there's definitely a generation of kind of people that still kind of love this stuff into adulthood. Was that a thing? Do you think that was ever as prevalent with your father's generation, or is it just something that's kind of emerged more prominently these days, and they're quite, people carrying torches for these franchises seemingly indefinitely?
I mean, I wonder if just the franchises just weren't as strong. I mean, it's not like, I mean, well, maybe not, because you did get things like, Superman lunchboxes, but maybe it's just, I'm talking about the strength of branding. I mean, it's not like Gumby survived, but Superman did. So I don't know.
There are a lot of things that the mediums have obviously been much more fine-tuned to kind of, for maximum fucking stimulation. You've got video games and stuff now. There's a lot more that people kind of can graft onto in a much more kind of intense way. I imagine if Pokemon was simply like a trading card game, it was never a video game, I would stipulate it wouldn't have as much traction. Particularly, I knew how I used to consume games like that as a kid. Anything where you just collect things habitually, I would just be like, yeah, just keep doing that shit for hours and hours and hours. I didn't care about any of the rest of the franchise in terms of the cars, maybe a little bit, but
you liked the Game Boy game.
Yeah. I didn't watch the fucking TV show. Even as a kid, I was too. If I caught that, if someone would catch me watching that, even out of curiosity, I would feel ashamed. Even I had enough self-awareness as a 9-year-old. My sister loved it at the time, but I was like, no, I'll stick with my little Game Boys because no one can see what I'm fucking doing when I'm doing that shit.
He could be playing something intellectual like Tetris or
Welcome
Dr. Mario.
to the Chess Master.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it does survive, and I also was not really into it as a kid, but I was into the Game Boy game. I got it really cheap at a second-hand store, sort of way after it had come out, and it was really good. I really liked it, but the cartoon as a kid, I always thought was rubbish, and it looked like unbelievably cheap to me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of, I think we've even talked about this, going back and watching the cartoon, which I highly recommend if you're with friends and in the right mood or whatever. It's very funny. It is cheap, but by today's standards, it doesn't even look that cheap. I guess I'm just used to seeing really cheap animations online and stuff, and it's got charm to it.
You think so?
The cartoon, yeah, it's got a certain charm to it, but again, maybe that's just looking at it with a bit of nostalgia. It's sort of got this sort of ever so slightly grainy quality, where you can tell it's from the era it is from, and it presents lots of sort of bizarre scenarios. It's a very sort of bizarre cartoon in what it, I suppose, assumes and infers, and the world it presents is this very sort of incongruent, weird mess with these implications that you're not really meant to bother thinking about because it's just a cartoon. Yeah. It's not like it has this deliberate subtext. It's just that because of its nature, it sort of presents the idea that there's this world where everyone is obsessed with Pokemons. There are no roads connecting towns. There is no clear distinction between animals and Pokemons. People fight these Pokemons for a palpable sort of currency of honor. And yeah, I guess the whole world revolves around it. It's just sort of fascinating. Yeah.
I
don't know.
The subtext, the kind of there's a lot of stuff it presupposes that is really odd. I spoke to someone about this. And it's like, yeah, they should really kind of like explore that for like, you know, because Pokemon's all right because it's like for the kids, but they want to kind of like edge it up for like more like the grown ups, so that when they talk about the poaching aspect a little bit more, it's like, dude, for fuck's sake, it has to stay for the fucking children. Let it go, all right?
The poaching aspects, or like suddenly someone realizes, wait a minute, this is cockfighting.
Yeah, basically.
And everyone, it just spreads like a wave. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm enslaving these things." Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it's not really meant to stand the test of approaching it in a like, well, you know, this is literally terrible sort of way.
Of course not. No.
You're just meant to suspend that and be 10. Well, anyway, Pokemon in the real world. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I guess so. I mean, obviously, you shamed me yesterday.
Did I?
Well, when you asked me for topics, and I'm a fucking blank slate for that kind of stuff, and then you generated a list, you know, in a second, and I felt profoundly stupid. But I was kind of hoping, because you got a few here. The last one on the list, which I'm not going to list them because we might use, but the last one on the list was meat. I was kind of hoping we'd talk about meat.
Meat, yeah. I think people in Pokemon eat meat. I think you often see vegetarian stuff, but yeah, I mean, what do you think about meat, Pokemon meat? I mean, what differentiates Pokemon between Pokemon and animals is, I guess, animals can't get sucked into that Pokeball.
Has anyone really tried? No. It's a bizarre technology, which you would think, you know, if you could do that, capture a life, if you could reduce someone's mass to fit in the palm of your hand, in essential, for lack of a better word, a tennis ball, would you honestly use that to ensnare the local wildlife, or could you go on a campaign of war, enslaving many, many millions of people? I think they've used it for that for those purposes. Is quite charmingly humble and definitely lacking in ambition.
Yeah, I mean, if it was in our universe, then definitely there wouldn't be any wild Pokemon right now. You know, and it would be like, yeah, I'm
barren
going to go
wastelands everywhere you look.
I mean, there'd be animals, but all the Pokemon would definitely have been caught, and I guess they'd be factory farming them, right?
God almighty.
You know, like if you want to, you know, if you're like someone who's going to fight dogs or something, you're not going to go out and capture a dog. You're going to buy one, and unfortunately, you know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what it would be like if you want to fight Pokemon or own Pokemon. You got to buy it. And I guess the gyms, it would be like Tyson's gym. You know, and that's where you fight like the Clucks.
The what? Sorry.
The Clucks. That's the second form of the. It goes chick, cluck, and then what would the third one be? Hen.
Okay. Then what we could have? What, Quacks or Ducks?
Yeah. So it goes duck, quack, and then the final one is like, it's like a bowl with water in it and several duck heads coming out, and that's soup. And that's what they say, soup, and they're all saying it at the same time. It still sounds like quack.
I guess if they are going to be bred, so if the breeding's going to be rife, then I guess they will have, in our universe, we'd obviously have to instigate a few more sensible laws, because knowing how I used to play that game when breeding became an option, I would invariably, because I was a horrible man.
Was.
I don't play the game anymore. I've grown up.
Okay. Yeah.
But I would, breed it. Then I'd have offspring with which to breed, and I would invariably make it breed with its fucking parents, and keep going, hoping that I would basically completely destroy its genetic code and be left with something horrific. I remember when I was a kid.
It's in the Bible.
I remember I was a kid. then they were bringing out the second generation. They were talking about how they introduced this new feature where you could breed. And it's like, oh wow, is this? And in my naivety, I didn't realize how limited games needed to be in order to fucking work. I just assumed
So you spent hours trying to make a pool of eyeballs and arms.
Basically, yeah. I thought
Yeah.
you could create novel things with that, but apparently not. I was devastated.
Yes, there's a fun game called Crusader Kings. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I don't know really what it is. Hang on, let me.
Essentially, it's a strategy game where you play a dynasty in medieval times, and you control the ruling person of that dynasty usually, and it's got all sorts of mechanics, or sort of that's trying to simulate sort of the politics of the time, where you can marry people for alliances and
Okay.
like betray people, and it's fun. And I played it once recently, and I decided that in my playthrough, I think I played with some sort of style of succession where you could, I think it was Tanistry or something, or maybe the Irish version of that. This is boring now. Where you could choose your successor. So my own internal logic was, I can choose anyone in my dynasty to be the successor, but my rule is they have to be a dwarf. Because the founder of my dynasty was a dwarf, and I used cheats to make his wife a dwarf, so all their kids were dwarves.
I fucking love that that's something they implemented in the code.
Yeah. And it would get to the point where it's like, okay, the only people who I've got loads of people to choose from, but the only people I could choose from is this baby girl who's got dwarfism, or this 30-year-old who's got dwarfism inbred, is stupid. I think the actual trait is dumb, and is sterile as well. Yeah, it ended up with loads of people, not because of dwarf on dwarf action, but because it was inevitably going to be, well, there aren't that many dwarves in Europe that I can marry. We've used all the dwarves. We're going to have to start inbreeding now.
Right, I want to something here. Is there so your choice
And you
to sire your dynasty from a dwarf? Does it pose any benefits, or is it merely an aesthetic choice?
No, you get different traits as time goes by, and obviously, it's a PC game, so you can use consoles to muck around and give people weird traits and stuff. And it's a negative trait, so all it is I think it makes you less healthy, and if you're a man dwarf, then all women get a -10 attraction to you.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because it's obviously, it's not really trying to like pass judgment. It's just trying to present, it's going to be more difficult if you're a dwarf, I guess, in the Middle Ages. But so like if you select it at the beginning, you can select your own traits, and if you select it, you because it's negative, you get years taken off your character. So you want to start as a younger character, so you've got time to have kids.
Right.
Ideally. But then if you select good traits, you get older. So if you want to start married as well, you get older. So you've got to work out what you want to do.
Okay.
So if you select dwarf, it takes 10 years off. So you could be like a dwarf, but then use that to also make your character like a genius.
Gotcha.
So if you're starting off, you could use it as a trade-off. But one of the things, which I guess they've done because they really don't want to, be perceived as being homophobic, is the homosexual trait is neutral. It's not plus or negative. And honestly, there is no benefit in that game to playing as a homosexual. Because it's the Middle Ages and they fucking hate homosexuals, unfortunately. And it makes it harder to have kids. There's no benefit, I don't think. Because I've had like heirs who are homosexuals. It's not like the end of the game. They can still have kids, but they're doing it out of sense of duty, I guess.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that they really did not want to say that was negative.
Oh, of course not. No, they'd be fucking slammed for it. Smart choice.
But they felt like dwarf they could get away with, because they could have made dwarf negative. They could have made it neutral and be like, I don't know, like harder to assassinate or something. You know, can run between people's legs and such.
I'd say like +10 charisma because they're so plucky and adorable.
Yeah, and every normal game I've played on it, you know, you can assign people like titles and stuff, and one of them is court dwarf, and
Right.
usually it's either vacant or like there's one dwarf, so it's going to be that guy. But when you play like this, it becomes like that's the title. That is the most honoured title you can have, is court dwarf.
This was the meta game that you played with yourself within.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, essentially.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So it's a shame then that Pokemon doesn't have that element where you can inbreed Pokemon to the point where they're basically just, you know, sterile husks.
Oh no! I wanted their DNA to be so kind of fragile and bruised and beaten that they would kind of their cellular bonds would just decay and they would just become puddles. I was disappointed.
And I guess there's not much point though, right? Because I assume you can only breed Pokemon with the same type. I mean, they're not going to implement a system where you can like make a hybrid. That would be way too complicated.
No, I know that.
So what's the point? I mean, why do you need like 3 of the same Pokemon?
Well, aficionados I'm sure will tell you exactly why, but I couldn't tell you. Well, another thing that I was also very disappointed was that they, with that generation, introduced a few kind of infant Pokemon as well, and alas, you know, there were a few no-goes when it came to breeding, and alas, the babies were something that you couldn't make shag on command.
What do you mean babies? You mean like the first stage, or there's like babies before that?
Yeah, so they obviously, I think there was Pikachu, but then they had in the second generation they introduced something else that came before that would evolve into Pikachu. And that is, yeah, like as I'm saying, it's something you could only, it was kind of useless, but it was just there for, I don't know, set dressing. But yeah, couldn't fucking breed it, so not happy.
But you could evolve it and breed it.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do that. I want babies making babies because I was a sick fuck.
Who ate all the babies? That'll be the babies.
They're friends' babies.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, if Pokemon were in this universe, surely we'd be using Pikachus to, like, you know, power batteries or something, wouldn't we? Wouldn't you just have, like, Pikachus, like, nailed up, like, connected to wires at substations?
No. Well, I mean, I'm sure for a lot of, like, logical and practical people, no, I'd have it on the end of a stick and use it as a cattle prod.
Right, you'd use it as a weapon.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's better than I imagine the work that goes
And the stick would be up his ass, would it?
No, of course not. I'm civil. I'd use
just
elephant
sellotape
tape.
it to his stick. Elephant tape.
No, just like along the spine. You know, it's fine. No lasting damage when when he's finally relinquished of duty. Put him in his pet carrier. But then again,
I guess
I'd probably do that with a lot of them, especially like a Geodude. I mean, that would definitely work on the end of on the end of a baseball bat. You make a great mace.
Yeah, because guns don't exist in Pokemon, but I'm pretty sure they do. Damien, have you ever seen the Pokemon with the character Damien in it?
What the fuck?
Yeah, have you ever seen it?
No.
I want to say it's episode 13 even, which I shouldn't know, but it gave me great joy to watch it. I'll put a couple of clips in.
Oh, really? Is it something I should know about?
But I guess he's meant to be British as well, I think. I mean, he pronounces Charmander, Charmander! like British people would do.
Mate.
Charmander. And he fucking hates Charmander as well. He's a really bad dude. He's a knobhead.
Oh, is he really?
He captures Charmander, and Charmander is weak, so he leaves him in the woods while it rains.
Oh.
And then he goes to a pub and tells people what he
Ye
did.
old
And,
British tavern.
and he's like, I hate Charmander. He's useless. I hope he dies. I mean, I'm not really exaggerating that much. It's pretty full on.
Okay.
And then Ash is like, I think the good thing is not to do that. It's a real turning point.
Let me adopt your pets. I will take them all on. I know.
I mean, obviously, in today's universe, obviously Pokemon would have, or some Pokemon would have more uses than others. I can't imagine much use for a Snorlax, but you could certainly weaponize.
I don't know. I think their
Charmander.
pelts would be highly sought after. You could make a great throw out of it.
So you'd farm them, would you? Like a big mink farm? I mean, yeah, they would farm them like puppies, wouldn't they?
Of course they would.
Pokemon
I'm not
dolls.
looking here. You got all like the fish and stuff like that. They'd easily end up on fucking people's plates. There's no reason that these things wouldn't, not be consumed like any other animal on this fucking planet.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Now, which one do you think would be most delicious? Because I always, with things like the rock types, I was always kind of concerned, they're obviously portrayed as living
meat?
things.
Is it meat under there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to kind of drill down and find what's going on there. Is it really kind
No,
of
it's
soft and
it's more
fleshy?
like once you've blown Onyx's head off with like a piece of dynamite on the end of an enormous stick, you've got to like put it on the back of your truck and then take it to a massive shredder, like the type of shredder that completely like crushes. Like those shredders that crush hard drives. It's like that, but 10 times as big. You just put it in there and like grind it into salt, and that's how you eat those rock Pokemon. Sort of, just a little bit of a little bit of Onyx on top.
Very nice.
Really brings out the sweet if you do that. I think. I mean, therefore every Pokemon is edible.
Right, because that was the last one. If we didn't sort that shit out, it'd been tough titties.
I mean, I could only imagine, if Pokemon were real and that was the situation where they were delicious, I would find real joy in hunting Psyducks.
I'd like to think that I'd fuck you off as a kid.
I'd like to think that I'd like try and do it like Leon teaches Matilda and start with like sniper rifles, but as I get more skilled, like it's just me with a knuckle duster, right? And like in ninja gear going after them.
With no grace whatsoever. Just bathing yourself in the fruits of your vicious slaughter.
Yeah, it starts off with me like in full ninja gear, and I've got like piano wire, but then all I do is like hit it in its gut and then like get around it and try and strangle it. Like there's no stealth.
You go back to your log cabin in the woods at night and just these mounted busts all across the walls.
Just of Psyducks.
Furniture made, made from the
it's
tan
pelt.
beaks.
Yeah, I like that. Like Van Pelt, but just for Psyduck.
Is there any particular reason? Did it wound you as a child?
I just imagine the taste is acceptable, and I find it very annoying.
The taste is acceptable.
I can't imagine it's great, but
I don't know. I think duck has tasty meat. I'm going to go. I'm going to assume that the taste would be comparable to duck in our current universe. In which case, I would say, I'd lap that shit up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that wouldn't taste nice. I mean, I guess the rock ones would probably be an acquired taste. I can see more stuff like, the rock ones like that. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. The one you mentioned earlier that you'd put on the end of a baseball bat. It's basically like a rock with fists.
Oh, gee, there we go.
Absolutely genius design there. Like fucking Leonardo da Vinci. Like, what if it was a floating fucking rock with 2 arms coming out of it? Like, I imagine that would be like more of a thing you like lick off the back of your wrist in the club. You slam something.
I don't know. We got a few that.
Would we have Pokemon dancers in the club? Would they be stripping? Would you sexualize them?
I would say, look, you had the fighting ones, the big muscly dudes. They could ease. I'm sure.
Machop.
Yeah, I'm sure they're the favorite of some dark and twisted people, but they could easily be fetishized, and They could work the clubs. Maybe not as dancers, perhaps bouncers. Well, it depends on the club, really.
There has to be a Pokemon which is basically a lady's body with like a unicorn head, and she's in like a red, like swimsuit or something. I mean, I'm surprised there's not more sort of, because they really seem to run out of ideas after a while. Like they obviously felt like they needed to have hundreds.
Yes. Well, yeah. I did see. I mean, they made that joke on that. Was it Pikachu on Acid, the chair? Oh, I'm 6th generation. But it is kind of like that. I saw one that was literally just a gear from a machine with eyeballs. And then it was
What was it called?
It
Gyrio.
was kind of like Cogsum or something like that. I have no... Coggy the Cog. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, and it transforms into Clock.
No, well, no, it doesn't.
Clock.
It's even worse than that. It just transforms. Clock. It transforms into 2 cogs.
Into 2 cogs, yeah. Do you know what the third one is? Its final form. It's Big Ben.
Bit of a fucking leap.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see like a clock tower Pokemon. I mean, yeah, they've definitely reached that point where it's kind of ridiculous, I think, haven't they? I mean, there were Pokemon at the beginning that were just Pokeballs with eyes.
Yeah. I mean, it's all fucking absurd. But I mean, it's amazing what they can shit out in the name of, keeping this shit going.
Could you eat those Pokeball ones?
I mean,
do they defecate even? They must do.
Yeah, they must. I mean, one of the things that's kind of really odd about the games that I knew, and I knew a fair few of them, but the shit that they would write in your little kind of like Pokédex thing, the world was very wholesome, and everyone's kind of like all love and joy, everyone gets on, all this kind of stuff, but the shit they would write about these things existing in the wild, sometimes it's fucking terrifying. Like
that one that kills its mother for its face mask.
Something...
Carbone!
Oh, yes.
I think his name was...
The lonely Italian Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, those... I seem to remember one had, like, sickles or something for arms, and it would talk about the things that used to bleed a specific way before it would consume its prey, which they would list as something else. It's also deliciously fucking cute. It's like, I mean, it's just odd that, they would quite happily, expand the law this way, but you never actually see it implemented in any kind of way. Because I'd see that. I'd quite happily see that shit.
Who would the gym masters be in our universe? Would it be like, like Zuck and, like billionaires, or would it be people like Steve Irwin? Like people who are more like masters of outdoors.
So, like,
I know he's dead, but
your final gym leader has got to be David Attenborough in that case.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, he's not doing the fighting, is he?
Of course not. He's just the supreme master of all.
Yeah, and he narrates it as well.
It's very off-putting.
It's like if David Attenborough would narrate a boxing match. Like, instead of it being quick and like left punch, right punch, takes it in the face. It's all like, yes, and now he overpowers the other Pokemon. And, yep, that's a dominating stance there. Yep, he's getting ready to pull the skull off from the spine.
And here we see
Look at that.
a left hook straight to the jaw.
Look at this Pokemon. Boring.
That's when he loses, and then it's like he dispenses with the that veneer. It's like, oh, fuck this.
It's like a 3-hour match where Machamp is just hitting that Pokemon that's just a cocoon. It's called like Hard On or something. And it's just not taking any damage.
Yes, I'm familiar with which you were talking about. Having said that, right, there was in the first generation, right? So there was Hard On. There was another one, Kakuni,
Kakuni,
the B one, and that the cocoon, the second stage thing. At least the pictures that they had on that Game Boy One did kind of look like a penis. Like if you pulled the foreskin back, he definitely had a proper helmet shape there, and I was always I thought it was really odd as a kid.
Like like a circumcised penis.
No, no, no. It was like you were pulling it back like painfully hard for no good reason, which I would do as a kid because I was bored. Don't act like you never did that shit. I wanted to see what my penis could do. Before
I mean,
found
like
out what
when
it
you
was
say
for.
until it was painful, like I mean, like you were passing out, and that's the only reason you let go.
I remember hearing it much later on. You said it was an expression which always kind of sent chills down my spine, which was snapping your banjo cord. And it's like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know someone, or I did know someone. He, when I was at university, he was the boyfriend of the girl who lived opposite me. He was the guy who shouldn't have been living there, and security sort of knew he was living there, but like never could catch him. And then one day someone tipped them off. I don't know who, and they went up there, and as they opened the door, they saw the closet door closing really quick, and then they opened the closet door, and he was inside with a towel on his head. That guy, he told me that he snapped his banjo cord and that he could roll his foreskin right down his cock. And it's like that. It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't. But even
It
so,
does not work like that.
the image of my
Like they're
mind.
completely not like they're like your knob, the muscle of your knob and the skin around it are not connected at all.
Oh. Oh man, there's nothing. I can't say anything without coiling, retching. That's absolutely disgusting. I know it's not possible, but the image that it conjures up, I can see the infantile logic that has led him to make that assertion. And it's putrid.
It's just a weird. I mean, it was obviously not true. So why? What's the brag?
I don't know. He's just a moron. I mean, I would kind of accept that if he was like 10 years younger, perhaps. It's just like stupid shit you say, but I guess he hasn't graduated to that point mentally. It's like
Yeah, he also I remember him saying that there's no point of using like washing up soap when you do the washing up because it doesn't make it cleaner, it just makes it smell nice. Like, which is bizarre because have you like washed a plate with washing up and then, you know, it doesn't smell of anything.
Well, I mean, you have to ask yourself: does he implement a sponge in the washing up process, or does he just use his
Just do it
thumbs?
with his hands.
Yeah, because I've seen people
Does
do
he
that shit.
Does he use water? Just with his shirt there.
Yeah, all it does is they make all my dirty plates green and slimy. They were that shit before, so why the fuck do I bother? I leave them out in the rain.
know.
You know, that sorts them right out.
Remember somebody else's fucking place, going there and their kitchen drawers were full of dirty plates because the sink was full. So they just started storing them in drawers.
Did you have a talk with this person?
No, I didn't care.
No, I was quite happy to see where this insanity would lead. I went back 6 months, and his cats had eaten his remains.
There's another story as well about someone in a student house share, and it was just a bunch of random people. They didn't know each other very well, and one of them just stayed in their room all the time, and all he ate, apparently, was like full roast chickens. And you know, like when you put a roast chicken in like the like disposable foil trays that are sort of meant for roasts.
Mm-hmm.
You just cook it in that and then take that to his bedroom. Like no plates or anything. And just eat that. And then one day they looked in and the room was just full of flies and chicken carcasses.
Good lord.
Yeah. Depression's a hell of a mistress.
And fuck indeed. Yeah.
I mean, you have to assume.
Well, you would hope so, because there's no excuse for that kind of behaviour. I was about to say, hang on, I'm confused, a bit funny. About to say that look, I've taken similar crockery to the bedroom to eat, but I don't, leave that much. I don't leave it around, for fucking weeks and weeks and let it accrue like that. I've had my sad microwave meals in the, straight out of the fucking molten plastic that they come in, because I'm too
Yeah, but you don't leave that there.
No,
for
of course
days.
not. No. That's quite a harrowing end to that fucking story. Jesus.
I guess.
I say that because there, but for the grace of God, go I, because I've come fucking close.
Well, I remember when Jason found that year-old banana in his backpack.
How could he identify it as a banana? It was just considering some of Jason's goings on, it could have just been a really old used condom.
I mean, I think I told you this story as well about someone I knew in the army or RAF or whatever. I can't remember who exactly told it me. In their locker, they found like at the back of their locker, when they moved out of where they'd been living for like 2 years, they found a plastic bag, and they moved it, and it was a ancient turd that someone, a friend, had. They'd shit in a bag. They were leaving, so as a goodbye present, they shit in a bag, wrapped it up, and put it in the back of this guy's locker. And he never found it, and obviously never smelt it. But when he moved it, the way he described it was, it must have cracked open or something. And they had to evacuate the fucking 8-man room he was in because the smell was unbelievable. Yeah.
Jesus.
But talking about knobs, do you remember Chris's brother, the story around him, that he put a cigarette down
Of course, yeah.
his urethra? And, obviously that's not true. How do those things start?
No, but I love, because I heard that before, then I asked about it years later, and I got the other half of that bullshit story, was that he put it in so deep, he couldn't, physically get it out, and they had to fish it out in fucking A&E.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear.
How would they invoice you on that? What would they, or even if you didn't have to pay, they'd have to write what the procedure was somewhere. What is that?
There'll be
urethra unblocking.
Yeah, I don't know the medical jargon, but they'll write in such a way that it's not explicit saying we fetched something out of a guy's knob. But they'll have codes for it.
Foreign object removal.
Yeah, something like that.
Something. From the bowel.
But,
I mean, every doctor must have one of those stories, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can just, a preliminary fucking Google of bizarre x-rays will tell you that fucking stuff.
There's a really good documentary series. I want to say it's on Prime, so sorry about that. There's a really good documentary series called Lorena about a woman called Lorena who apparently famously chopped off her husband's penis.
Right.
For being an incredibly abusive dickhead. And they managed to sew it back on.
Okay.
It worked. So,
really?
The wonders of science, yeah.
Okay.
It worked so much that he even went on to do porno with it.
That can't be. I mean, you're pulling my leg. Surely not.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you should watch it. It's a fun documentary. It's got some very interesting
watch the fucking porn.
Well, that was it. They were selling the porn on his Frankenpenis.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
I mean, it was in the 90s where you couldn't just look up, all this fun stuff. You actually had to pay for it.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
I've got that in front of me. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Frankenpenis is definitely worth a watch. Oh, and the woman as well.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, that the sort of hook of it is cut off her husband's dick.
Right.
And, it definitely sort of comes out with you sort of feeling like, yeah, she was right to do it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the guy, we interview the guy, and he is a massive piece of shit.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah, so check that out. But, yeah, I mean, I guess if they can stitch your penis back on and get it working, they can get the glass out of your ass.
Well, that's very good to know. If they can do that with the penis, then I'm going to be much more careless with mine. I think I've been too conservative with my penis of late.
Well, careless how? Careless, sticking it in things that you don't know what's in there?
Absolutely, yes.
Using it, right. Like random voids.
Yeah, I could definitely give the vacuum cleaner another go.
I mean, she cut it off. She didn't shred it up, right? Like, I don't think they can do anything if they blend it or anything.
Yeah, because I'm not going to bother with the attachments. I'm going to go straight to the actual heart of the vacuum.
Well, that famous case as well of that guy who fucked his vacuum cleaner, and then called the police and said like something along the lines of, some Puerto Rican guy just burst into my room and cut my penis off, or something so stupid. And the police arrived, and there was like a trail of blood to the fucking closet, and they opened the closet, and the only thing in there was a bloody vacuum cleaner. And he'd not fucked the hose. Bizarre enough, he'd gone right for it's like a Henry Hoover, right? He wanted to fuck Henry's nose.
Oh, God. And they're quite like industrial powered as well, those Henry Hoovers. They're surprisingly fucking on it.
I don't know. I mean, I guess as a kid, I always imagined it can't really do this, but I always imagined it was essentially like a macerator vacuum where there was a blade going around.
Well, it sounds
but
like
that can't be it.
Who knows? But if it fucking blitzes this fucking guy's junk, then there's something going on there. I couldn't imagine it's just there's enough suction to just tear it off the fucking body, but so there has to be maybe some kind of crushing element involved. Well, like I say, I think medical science has advanced enough for me to kind of experiment fancy free. So I will. I'm on my mission now.
I don't know if this is medically sound at all, but it sounds so good, I've got to say it. I think the suction would be so strong that it would rip off his entire unit.
Because he tried to shove in his fucking scrotum in there as well. Like, there's nothing
You know what
left.
I mean, right? I mean, like his cock, his balls, his gooch, like right the way up to his arsehole.
Oh, just one huge fissure. His fucking... His lower intestine just starts to slowly sluice out the bottom.
Yeah, that would definitely be a mortal wound.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Oh well, I mean, you would hope so, because the quality of life after that incident was just it bears not talking about. If nothing else, the reputation, to live such a miserable life and for it to be only your fucking fault in the most humiliating way possible. No. You just wouldn't be able to carry on.
I mean, at the very least, it would be like extremely painful. I mean, whenever I've been like kicked in the balls or anything, or like my dog has jumped and hit me in the balls or anything, that's like a pain I can feel for a few days. Like the echoes last.
Yes, it's quite horrible. I did the same thing at work. I was having a discussion with someone. I just opened the fridge door, and they're all like kind of waist height. And I opened it, just slammed myself in the fucking nose. I only caught, just the one, but it was enough to kind of put me out of commission for a good 20 minutes. It's like I'm gonna have to sit down for this.
I've lost my breath.
That horrible fucking pain that just fucking rises up through your fucking body for some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't even start like pain. It starts like...
Oh no. It's like like the initial incline on a roller coaster. It's climbing, and it's just something's going to happen.
Describing it, yeah.
You're not quite sure. It's not quite as fast when it kicks in as a roller coaster. It's just one of those fucking blunt, dull pains, good and slow. Ugh.
Yeah. So, speaking of which, have you seen the latest groundbreaking, earth-shattering, life-changing thing from Facebook called Facebook Workspace? Part of Mark Zuckerberg's meta-universe that will change the way we work forever.
It sounds very ominous.
It's very funny.
Oh, really?
What it is it's the idea that you can work remotely, but by using Oculus Rift, which is a VR headset that you attach to your head, in case you don't know, you will put one of those on and you will be able to join a virtual space, perhaps a bland office, with other people and look at each other and move your hands in the style of Xbox One avatars. I watched it a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to sort of do a video about it, but there really wasn't enough for me to talk about it or anything. But essentially, Mark Zuckerberg thinks that the future of, I suppose, white-collar work, sitting down work, is we're going to strap VR headsets to our heads and like have meetings where we pretend that we're the avatars and we hold fucking sticks in our hands so that we can gesture in the virtual space, and also the avatars only exist from the waist up, so they can't move around or anything. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to find what it looks like here, but I'm not seeing anything. But it sounds fucking dreadful.
Yeah, I guess what I'm really saying is that obviously the idea is horrible anyway. Just, I have never been on... I used to have a proper job once, although I didn't fucking do it. But I have never been on a meeting with people where we actually need to look at each other. I mean, but that's a whole other thing. I've never been in a meeting where it really couldn't have just been, you do this, you do this, you do this.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. But like, why do I have... Why? It just looks so remedial. The reason I thought it was funny was I just cannot see it being adopted.
Well, of course not. It sounds incredibly fucking juvenile, if anything else.
It's like he's never played a video game. The way he described it and everything, it was fascinating. So I guess, if you're interested in Zuckerberg, check it out. There's a really funny interview on CBS with Gail, who's like super into it. It's obviously a bit of a puff piece. She's super into it. She's like, this is great. This looks so good. But then at the end she says, but this isn't going to replace The Office, isn't it? I mean, I love The Office. And essentially what she does is she says this doesn't work to replace The Office, which is what he's trying to do. And he doesn't really have an answer. His answer is like, well, that's what you think, but most people don't want to be back in the office. They want to do this, I hope. And and it also it's sort of weird because she's on about this sort of famous presenter, Gail.
Mm-hmm.
She's sort of on about like, I love The Office, I love returning to the office. It's like, Gail, you don't work in an office. You fucking float in and out of an office. Your job is being a presenter. Like, if my job was, come into the office fucking, maybe every day, but you're not, like, sitting at a desk working there all the time. Like, fuck off. No one wants to fucking do that.
No, not at all.
If anyone had the choice to do that at home and not spend an hour driving, anyone would do that, wouldn't they?
I've heard...
I mean, if I lived in a tiny apartment, I would rather the choice of sitting on my computer in my tiny apartment doing it, rather than like fucking getting up, getting dressed, getting washed.
That's the worst one. Fuck it hell.
That's the worst one, getting washed. Ooh, so cold. Driving there, being in a horrible, sterile place. I don't know. It just seems to me that maybe it's a generational thing where the younger generation just doesn't see the appeal of that.
Well, yeah, I think if you really want to remedy that problem, because people said, it was a novelty working from home for so long. Obviously, people obviously got bored of it and they were begging to kind of go back. I heard from the very same people that were so keen to go back. I myself was kind of guilty of the same thing. As I just kind of want to work again. I've done enough of that, and I could quite happily. I could roll through another lockdown for a couple of months. I'd be happy with that.
Flip those burgers on your dad's grill.
That's not a euphemism, is it? Oh dear.
What would that be?
I have no fucking idea, but you put a little bit of a spin on that one. It's like, your dad's boy. All it needs is a bit of a fucking slide whistle. Carry on.
Roasted sausages.
That's not fair. No, what you need to do is just
scorch his buns.
You've got like 20 of these lined up. You need to remove
sauces, lettuce.
All right. All right. Okay. I get it. My story was fucking boring.
Okay.
No.
All right. No, sorry, go on.
I lost. I think the thread was going to be. So you need to remove
Tickle his pickle.
All right. I'll commend you on that one. Son of a bitch.
All right. Okay. That's the last one.
No,
sorry,
no, it's not the fucking last one. I can't bring myself to do it. I can't.
French's dip.
French's dip. Oh, that's a new one. That one's archived. Thank you. Oh dear. No, you don't need some childish toy to kind of make the office a more engaging place. You need to remove the tedium of a lot of that fucking work.
Yeah.
At least with I have not been privy to a lot of those meetings. I've been very close to them, but at least the management level stuff that I've dealt with, the stuff of basically spinning the wheels. They generate activity to serve their own well, so it's interest and self-importance, but there's so much that can be in terms of labor that can just be removed. And these people, they have tedious jobs, no doubt, as an extension of that, really. If failing that, these people need to fucking get different jobs. You know, the anything that
Fucking harsh. Okay.
well, no, I mean, there are people that do there are certain vocations. People do, look for certain careers and what have you. But I'm coming from my point where my perspective, where my only close to an office job was working in a fucking call center.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely not the same thing.
No, no, it's not. It's though it did.
No, that's I mean that that's work. I did that for a very short time, and that that was not a job where it was like, yeah, I go in for 8 hours, but I only work 5. No, that was fucking. I go in for 8 hours and work like 20 years.
Yeah. So that stuff, I wouldn't say it was necessarily. It was fundamentally tedious, yes, but it was not engaging either. But somehow it really demanded quite a lot of my mental faculties. It was tough.
You missed work, is what you're saying. You were bored.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that I think that the future is people sitting at home doing nothing. I think that people can, I think especially younger workers, like people under 40, can see that the office is not a more efficient place. Mm-hmm. It's sort of more now just to do with sort of like a kind of tradition. Like there are many, many businesses that you come across where you think, well, they don't really need an office today. And I just think that what's going to drive that is, well, it's actually cheaper to have remote workers for a lot of work. And, if people are migrating to that, then that's what's going to lead it. But I don't know. I guess, ultimately, I don't know anything. Anything could happen.
Hopefully something disease-centric. This time a little bit more virulent.
But, I mean, my anecdotal, not evidence exactly, but my anecdotal experience is there are a lot of places around me, like fast food places and convenience stores, where I've gone to them, like in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, and they've been shut, and it'll say on the side, shut due to lack of staff.
Right.
I know that's not the same thing as office migration, but it's interesting. Something appears to be happening.
Yes, indeed. I've told you, yeah.
I mean,
I've been.
Is that your experience in Breton?
Well, yeah. No, I've been complicit in. I was complicit in deleting or deactivating the NHS track and trace app on my phone. We were encouraged, even in my current job, to kind of keep away from it, simply because if people, if we were to leave that stuff running on our phones, it would close us overnight, because we'd all have to, we'd all be registered with enough contact with enough high-risk people that we'd all have to isolate almost essentially all at the same time, and there just would be no way to run the restaurant on that. When I left that restaurant, they kept having the same kind of issues. Well, they'd fucked everyone off so much that a lot of people just left en masse anyway, but the few people that did kept finding themselves having to fucking isolate. And yeah, last time I heard, when I spoke to one of those guys, they no longer open for lunch anymore because they can't simply, there just aren't enough people there anymore. Half their business has gone in the fucking bin.
So that's an app that uses GPS to see if you've been in contact with someone who later tests positive for coronavirus. And okay, right, yeah.
It's not just like tracking GPS, but you obviously register where you go with QR codes and stuff like that. That activate the app, says that you've been here at such and such a time, and obviously it aggregates that stuff, and it's like, well, if such and such was here, then you might have to. I mean, I got pinged at one point. They said I had to isolate for 4 days, which was kind of odd in and of
Right.
itself.
Yeah.
Which I had loads of the fucking test kits at home anyway. I didn't isolate because I knew I wasn't sick, but I tested every day. That's the best I could do. But yeah, we had our general manager just
test.
got a.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
No, sorry. You tested every day. That's good. I've never had a test. And
Oh man!
when I thought I might have had it, like probably a year ago or something, I can't remember. But when I thought I might have had it, I couldn't get hold of a test.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one of the things that they do in England still, which I think is pretty cool. Is they still have a lot of people out, NHS volunteers, and they'll just give them out for free. And so please fucking take this shit with you. I just took loads from work because they give employers fucking shit tons just just for everyone's peace of mind. So I think they ordered I think someone ordered it, but they fucking carried a fucking zero, and they ended up ordering fucking 200 of the fuckers or whatever. So I was like, oh fine, I'll take a stash. More than I could ever possibly.
Right.
If I put this many sticks into my brain, that I won't have to worry about a virus. I'll have to worry about some pretty prominent brain damage.
Do you have to stick it up your nose?
Oh yeah, you I think you check your tonsils first, which is fucking disgusting. You right to the back of the throat, and then the same thing. You stick up your nose after that, or it's the other way around. I can't remember. It's not a pleasant fucking experience whatsoever.
Yeah. So go on then. Give us the update on your dad, because I mentioned earlier that when I envision your dad's house now, I think of hay being on the floor.
Well, I know what we've discussed, but for those, I don't know what I brought up on the podcast, but for those, that are concerned, there are
This
now
is
a
the
total.
podcast.
Yeah. So
What do you mean? What?
No, so privately we've talked about it. I know I've told you about it, but I can't remember what I brought up on the podcast. But for those kind of listening concerned, I think they were up to 3 dogs. It's now shot up to 5. And it's all very delightful. The last one at least was sprung on a surprise. You think he's looking after it as a favour to a friend while they're on holiday, but they've been on holiday for, I don't know, 5 weeks now. It's like, Dad, I think there's something we need to have a bit of a discussion here. You do know you have this dog now, right? It's like, no. They're coming here on Sunday, and I turned up. This is over the phone. I turned up on Monday. This dog's still here. It's like, Dad, what's going on? It's like, no, they're coming back on Thursday. So I'll be giving him a call on Friday. And it's like, Dad, you have that dog, don't you? It's like, no.
And what's the situation then? You said something about you.
Oh yeah, so I
you
mean,
walked into his bedroom.
Yes, yeah. So I went in when I arrived late at night just to go say hello. I heard he was awake. Because now there are so many dogs. He just leaves all the bedroom doors stay open now, so they can all just kind of go wherever they fucking like. Because we can't have.
I'm surprised there are any doors. I thought he would have had to have burned them for fuel now.
We're not that far off, because a lot of the beds that I dismantled in the various rooms that I tried to put together while I was here in lockdown, the mattresses weren't disposed of, so they were simply propped up against the hallways leading up to his bedroom, because his bedroom, in terms of geography of the house, is at the end of a long hallway on the first floor. And there was 3 of the fuckers when I came back.
Or second floor if you're American.
Yes, the more you know.
Yeah.
So there were 3.
The floor above the ground.
The uppy one.
Yeah.
So on Monday I come back. There's only 1 mattress there now. It's like, oh, it's suddenly very spacious here. What's going on? Don't really give it. It's not really got into my brain yet. I've just noticed a little bit more space, but I haven't really figured out why. I go in. I hear that he's up. So all right, fine. I'll say hello now rather than save it for the morning. Obviously the dogs are going mental. He knows I'm here now, so there's no reason not to. I go in, and I see where the mattresses have gone, because he's basically put one mattress either side of his bed now because there are so many of these fucking animals that there's no fucking room for them whatsoever. And my dad, bless him, I go in there and he's just dimly lit by a TV, and obviously look, it's almost midnight. He's pissed and he's really fucking tired anyway. But with the state that it looks like a fucking skag dead in there, I was like, this is another level of dilapidation now.
So he's got what, one mattress where he sleeps and then two on either side.
Yes, yeah.
How? Well, I've been in that room and I didn't think there was enough room for that.
Oh yeah,
like for three mattresses laid side by side. I'm surprised the room is that wide.
Oh, it's a tight fit, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's skirting board to skirting board.
Yes.
I mean that's what you'd want, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then if it is such a tight fit, you could have the exact same above you, where like the middle mattress is like the mattress keystone. as long as you don't move the middle mattress, the other two, will stay up there.
Yep. I think I might float that to him because if nothing else, the remaining mattress in the hallway is a double. So if he does that, I guess it'll make that middle one a bit cushier and obviously clear up that space.
Might need to consider buying just one extra long mattress. Could be a single, but extra long, like Lurch's mattress, to sort of serve as a mattress supporting pillar. A load-bearing mattress. Just for the middle, just in case.
Just in case.
And then I guess you might as well do the walls. Yeah, I mean, when I was a student, I knew a friendly household of three very friendly, nice guys, and two of them lovely guys, but they were both sort of worryingly sleepy. I don't mean they weren't smart or anything. They were smart, but they both really slept a lot. Except when one of them picked up World of Warcraft again and stopped sleeping. But at one point when they were looking for houses, they were considering renting a house with one less room than they needed because the two sleepy ones were willing to sleep in the same room together on the condition that it wasn't a bedroom. It was a dedicated sleep room where you would have like no personal possessions. Like obviously a bedroom, you might have like, some drawers with clothes in and stuff, okay. or something. Nothing like that. Their idea was that they would essentially mattress this room, or carpet this room with mattresses, like buy like four of them, and it would be like wall to wall mattresses, and they would either somehow get a enormous blanket or just get loads of blankets, and it would just be like a big massive bed, and they would essentially sleep in the big massive bed together. Yeah, I
mean, I'd love to kind of be more judgmental about this, and like my dad's bedroom, but as soon as soon as I saw it, obviously there was a part of me that was a little bit like revolted, but at the same time it puts me right back. Put me back in time to fucking Bollebridge Road and fucking Stoner Den every Sunday. It's like, that's cool. That's quite cool. I like that. I like sitting at the foot of a couch on a mattress with loads of donuts, being fucking disgusting.
And one of those guys lived with me the year before, and I remember he got into this pattern of going to bed at 8 a.m. and sleeping for 12 hours and getting up at 8 p.m. So I remember once trying to get him up for a class and knocking on his door, and there was no answer. And I remember looking in, and he was he was passed out on his bed. He wasn't drunk or anything. He didn't really drink. It wasn't that. He was just very sleepy. He was fully clothed. He had his shoes on his bed. And essentially, his bed was like a nest. There was everything everything that was immediately important was on his bed with him. He had his PS2 controller snuggled up next to him. But then he also had clothes that he'd obviously taken off. But then he also had the clothes he intended to wear the next day laid out next to him. So really he could only use 30% of his own bed. It looked really uncomfortable, but he was passed out.
Right, okay. A man of pure efficiency. I respect those lifestyle choices.
Yeah, I mean, I expect you have trouble sleeping, do you?
What? In general, yes, but you mean specifically this house? It has been a nightmare. So the 2 nights I've been back.
Why? Because your dad's constantly kicking the door in. Damien, where's the flash
Oh,
packet?
no. Oh, I mean, he's. Well, we can get back. One thing he's been doing, I guess it's a new development because his dogs are. 2 of them are absolute fucking princesses, and they don't seem to want to eat at the same time as the other dogs. You have Riley and Brian, and they seem to kind of turn their nose
Okay,
up at
all right.
breakfast time.
Let me see if I can guess. Okay, one thing he's been doing, and then you start talking about the dog's diet. Okay, so I'm first. I was going to say he makes all of the dog's food, and every dog has a different meal. So he's like custom making 15 meals a day. I was going to say that, but then I thought, has he set up some sort of automatic dumbwaiter?
No, it's nothing quite as elaborate as that, but that's not off the cards, really.
Like a train set
That fucking
that serves as a dumbwaiter.
there's been shit that he's made. He has made dogs dinners that have turned out so pretty. He has photographed them and advertised them on fucking Facebook. Yes.
Advertise them. Yes.
Ah, dear.
I like that. Like.
No, because the other 3 dogs are actually quite big, so I don't know if they're just intimidating, but they won't eat at the same time, so they kind of fuck off. Verily came to see me both mornings. He wakes me up by bringing 2 bowls of dog food in and putting them up the fucking foot of, next to the bed next to me. It's like, I don't want to just get this fucking shit out of my fucking room. I'm asleep.
Because you're commanded to keep your door open.
Yeah, well,
Like I imagine your dad's hammered the door open.
well, it's nothing like that. I mean, there's no choice. The dogs will open it regardless. They're not very strong doorknobs, but they're old and worn, and these dogs are fucking huge. So there's no keeping them out, even if I really wanted to. But I mean, I used to have fucking arguments about them about fucking boundaries, and like, if I'm in here, then please, for the love of God, fucking knock.
You could be masturbating.
Well, there was one fucking time I was from very fucking close call, and it's like, dude, my dick is in my hands. Fuck off. It's not like fucking 2 in the afternoon. You haven't called me down for lunch or anything like that. I thought.
Oh yeah.
No, it's fucking.
So you don't enjoy the sense of danger? Oh, I might be caught. Never been tempted to get on the vinegar strokes before you ejaculate and go, Dad! Like, and, can I do it?
No, I save that kind of play for when I'm with a lady. Now you have to call me mummy.
Well, you're having sex with a lovely partner, and then as you're about to finish, you deliberately say the wrong name out loud and see what happens.
It's a bit of a crapshoot.
Oh, Noel! Noel!
Eric! What? You look like an Eric. That's what really fucking does it.
You look like my friend Eric. He's handsome.
But he's got a cock. You don't.
She's left the room by then.
Wait, where are you going?
Are you going to find a cock? Oh dear. Yeah. So yes, you. So you were telling us a story about your dad almost caught you masturbating.
No. But there was no story there. It's just like we were talking about it, something that kind of Obviously, Ed talks about fucking boundaries. That was just to put it in context. There's nothing to it, really. It's just like, I was there, and I had to kind of lean forward. And it's like, I think he kind of got what was up, but for whatever reason, didn't quite leave the room, pretend he didn't see. Kind of backed away with the door kind of ajar, but still felt the need to kind of finish what he came to fucking tell me. It's like, oh, for fuck's sakes, old man.
Was it important?
No, it wasn't. It's just I can't remember what it was, but it was absolutely...
Damien, what? It's 8:30. Okay.
That's it.
Was it like that? Father Ted's on TV. Yes, I know.
It could have been anything like that. It was. There was nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I imagine it was more like, knock, knock, knock. I'm making soup. Yeah. It'll be ready in 2 hours. Or something you didn't need to know.
I'm making soup. It's just for me. But if you smell something, that's
Don't
what it
get
is.
your fucking hopes up.
Don't have one of those fucking marmars where you come down going, "Where's my fucking soup?" I'm telling you right now, this is Milestown. I'm making pasta for the dogs. All right, don't you even fucking think about it. That's Riley's stuff. He's the son I always wanted. That's why he gets the pesto pasta. It's his favourite.
So
you
wait,
see.
did you tell us what his invention is or something? Not invention, but what's he? They all have to. All the dogs have to eat at a different time.
No, the point was that because two of them are fucking fannying about, I've been woken up each morning to fucking 2 troughs of fucking dog food basically paraded in front of me as I'm sleeping. It's like, no, we're not doing this thing where you're fucking bringing this fucking slop into my room. It's not what I want. So they pick up the dogs pick up the dog bowls, take it upstairs. No. My old man picks up the dog bowls, follows them upstairs, and puts it down in my room.
What the fuck? Why?
Because they won't eat all together. Ugh, I don't know.
But don't you have a room that's just like a bar or something? Can't you do it in that room?
I don't know. No, because he walks them at fucking stupid o'clock in the morning. The plain simple truth is the dogs don't like going out at that time. They don't, because the first thing they do is go straight back to bed. Yeah, as soon as they fucking finish their breakfast, all they do is fucking like pile on me. They want to get back into bed under the sheets where it's fucking warm. It's too cold for them at that time. They don't give a shit. So yeah, if they're gonna break up, if they've got any excuse to break away, they come straight upstairs. It's not a question of training them to go into a different room. They're just not interested, because my dad has no interest in training at all. It's just like, well, they just do what they do, and I'll have to pick up the pieces. It's odd. That seems to do this thing, but he's kind of he loves celebrating the untempered spirit of a dog. They can do whatever they like. They're not aggressive. They can do whatever they like, and then they do shit he doesn't like. And it's like, well, why are you doing shit I don't fucking like? And he's like, don't shout these fucking dogs. Like, you don't lay any fucking rules down. So
yeah, I don't know.
Bless them. And they, quite frankly, we talk to them like I swear he's convinced that Riley can speak English. It's like, oh man, you know that's not true, right? He's going to respond to body language, rhythm, cadence, tone of voice, all that kind of stuff, and he'll know what you're thinking and know what you're communicating, but he doesn't actually understand the finer points of English. You do understand that, right? No, Riley's smart. He gets it. So shut up. But one thing that, they are smart enough to fucking suss out is that every time they seem to want to do something differently, you always bend and give them what they want. They know you get upset and shout, but you'll always fucking cater to them. So they just sit through it. He's never like that aggressive. There's no physical violence or anything like that. He wouldn't never dream of such a thing. He adores them, but he just gets really frustrated. And then it's like, okay, very well. I'm going to take my dinner in the fucking den. I want it warm. Bring it to me at 8 o'clock. Fucking chop chop.
With my newspaper, and make sure that's warm too.
It is a little bit like that,
Well, I mean, at least they must scare the rat off.
Or eat it, I think that's
or eat it.
Either or. I mean, at this point, what's the lifespan of a rat? A couple of years, maybe. At this point, there should have been generations of the fuckers. Jack hasn't been around for a long time.
He's probably moved on. Oh, I'm not interested in staying around here. You never clean it, Miles.
No. And for those that are concerned, there's no news on any toilet repairs.
Right. Okay.
This is never going to fucking change.
I mean, are the lights still working?
No. We have lost.
So you're still flushing in the dark by hand?
Oh no! Oh, that stuff's fine. No, it's fine. But the light fittings seem to go down in the house. All he does is just buy a different lamp. There'll be some new LED thing he will buy off Amazon, and that's it. Replaces it, and then we just have dodgy light fittings or things hanging from the ceiling unnecessarily.
I wonder, have you ever heard of I think it's called The Stand. Stephen King's The Stand.
Okay.
You ever heard of that?
Nope.
It's a book he wrote, and they made a TV miniseries with Rob Lowe, Chad Lowe, Strike Lowe, with Rob Lowe, and I watched it recently, and it's essentially a sort of, it's a story about there's a massive outbreak of super flu and almost everyone dies. And, you know, it's just sort of along those lines, like, or zombie apocalypse lines. You know, I wonder how long it would take for the water to stop running out of the taps, so you can't flush anymore. What would you do in that situation? Not zombies or anything, but there's no public services or anything like that. You're one of very few people. Where would you crap? Like, would you just pick out, like, a certain place? Like, I'm just going to crap in a bag and throw it there. Or what would you do?
Well, if we're talking about something dire circumstances like that, I wouldn't spend.
Not like post-apocalyptic, like there's been lots of physical damage. Just boom, you know, most of everyone is dead.
Oh well, if I'm right here where I am now, I'll just go into the garden. No one will be able to tell my shits from the dog, so I'll, you know, it's the perfect crime.
But no one will be around to see.
Oh, in that case, the living room.
You could have a shit on your front step and no one would be there to judge you. You're saying that's the only thing that stops you from doing that is judgment.
Well, of course. Otherwise, I'd shit everywhere.
I mean, I guess, like, if you were traveling around, like you were doing a road trip or something, you could just go and crap in a different dry toilet every day.
If it were possible and it wouldn't destroy the inner workings of a car, I'd have the driver's seat just have an empty hole straight down to the road and just fire it out as I'm fucking belting down the motorway at fucking 80 miles an hour. I want to see a nice fire.
What do you mean inner workings? Like, where are you defecating there? Like, into the engine?
No, not at all.
What do you mean the inner workings?
The underside. Sorry, I mean I'm not quite sure what in terms of if I'd drill straight through, if I'd fuck with.
Oh, you mean like if you were driving a car, like where your seat is, you could build like a medieval toilet on that, which just goes straight to the road.
I would build nothing. I would simply saw straight through the passenger seat until I saw road, and then sit on top of that, bare ass naked. Wait till I got, I clocked in at least 50 miles an hour and then let rip.
I like the idea that you're so determined to do this that you find when you're doing it that, yeah, under there is an important bit of mechanism that you can't drill through. So you take the time to, like, study car mechanics and work out, like, how am I going to move this support column here without affecting the structure of the car? How am I going to, okay, I've got to move this pipe here. You do all that so you get a nice clear drop. To the motorway.
Yes, yeah, because I think if I would try to implement any kind of powered mechanism that would kind of sluice out the shit some other way, we're talking like vacuums that could potentially cause me harm in a position where I can do nothing. So I think keep it nice and crude and simple, and simply remove what I need.
Yeah, what's the point of having a little chamber of it? Yeah, just let it out.
Oh no! If I had a chamber, I wanted it to be fired onto the road almost immediately, but I just didn't want to get any kind of pumps involved.
I see what you're saying.
I'm not looking for any kind of prolapsing of the anus.
I need like super suction pumps. like you're an astronaut.
Oh yeah, it's powered by Henry Hoover.
Right out of your ass. Yeah, I remember there was a story about so many trains in Britain were delayed one year, probably like 20 years ago or something, because they had to continually chop down the tomato plants growing in the tracks because because tomato seeds aren't broken down in the human stomach, and the train toilets would just drop the shit right onto the tracks. So people were eating like BLTs and yeah.
That's fucking marvelous. I hope that's true. I need to see that.
It's the wrong sort of tomato plant. Yeah, it is true. It is true. I remember it.
Oh, that's superb. Oh, that's made my fucking day.
I mean, it's true that they use it as an excuse for delays. I don't know if it's true that it actually had an effect. I'd like to think that a train could fucking smash through a tomato plant.
Yes, it's a very good point. Or they grow fucking quickly.
Yeah, it's like a Resident Evil monster just taking up this track.
It's something to do with the treatment on those fucking trains. They've had to dispense with it now, which is why if you've ever, dared look inside a train toilet now, it's fucking horrific.
What do you mean?
I mean, it just seems like they've dispensed with almost all fucking cleaning on train bathrooms. Well, we're talking, pre-pandemic. I don't know what the fucking rules are now. I guess they just cordoned them off. There was a point where there were many times I needed to use the bathroom on a train. It's like they're always locked. It's like I have no idea what the fuck is on the other side of that door, but I'm probably better off not knowing. It does seem like, because you look around on a
Toilet
train.
chat. We're there.
Yeah. You look around and you see adults.
Who's done this?
Have we done?
Someone on this fucking carriage has done this.
Well, no.
No one's getting off.
No. It could be that all fucking day. It's like you get the stuff at the end of the line going. Am I seriously gonna? Do I do this for money? I don't think I get paid enough. But there's no way people don't know how to use a fucking toilet. And we're not talking about like a car here. It's a steady motion. There's nothing that's gonna really throw you off kilter. And invariably it's shit, right? So it's not like you're doing it standing up. You know what you're doing. There's really not as much margin for error as some of these people really like to think. So how some of these things happen, I don't know.
I went to the toilet in a train in India like more than 10 years ago, and it was literally like you could see the wheels, and they had like a disabled bar in front of it for you to hold on to, and with the sort of hole toilets, you get the sort of bits on the porcelain bits on the side where you put your sandals, and obviously that was covered in shit because you're moving back and forth. It was lateral as well, so you would
Oh,
so
God.
I didn't think that was well designed.
No, not at all.
No. But I remember walking in. I remember walking in there, and it was like a 23-hour train journey, and like I need a shit after hour 2. Walking in there and being like,
Nope.
I'm gonna wait. I'll have a shit on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk past all these Indian people who are already looking at me because it's like, why is this guy on this train? Like, I don't want to walk past all these Indian people with shit all over my shoes. Please don't. Yeah.
I have a
raising the flag for
reputation to
Britain there.
uphold.
God. Oh, nothing to do with it either, but I remember going to I think it was Fatehpur Sikri, and having a guy take me around and talking about, showing me bits of this. Well, I guess that would be the mosque, so the Red Fort next to it, I think it was.
Okay.
I could be completely wrong, whatever. Showing me this bit of this old fort and me saying, oh, what's happened here? And he's like, oh, it's from a cannon. Sort of like reluctant. And I said, well, what happened? He said, oh, it was the British. like I would be offended by it. Like, oh, yeah, but the British 200 years ago, dude. Like, give me a break. Anyway.
It was the British.
It was the British. Well, I assumed that. I assumed that. Couldn't we invent some sort of Pokemon that cleans up shit?
I thought there were Pokemon that kind of grew from shit. I was
Like lobster Pokemon or something.
No,
or
no.
Guano.
Yeah, something like that. There wasn't one that was just a puddle of shit.
I don't think
muck.
so, no.
Butt muck.
Yeah, it was more like he was like toxic waste, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was a strong inference there. It could have come from any type of waste refinery.
Yeah, I guess I always liked Muck, mainly because of that cartoon. Muck. Poor Muck.
Oh.
But I guess my favourite Pokemon would be Munchlax.
Munchlax?
Yeah, you see, you don't even know, do you?
No, fucking hell, someone else. You're a bit more current than I am.
Yeah, it's the pre-form of Snorlax, I think.
Oh, yeah?
It sleeps, but it's way more interested in eating.
Right, okay. And it looks like you take a kick in.
I relate to it.
Any particular reason, or just sleeping and eating?
Yeah, because it likes eating and sleeping, yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, it's got its shit down, like, yeah. What are all these other fucking Pokemon doing? Just fanning in about.
Fighting each other. I'm a
Yeah.
pacifist, man. I want a nap and some pizza.
Listen, it's only Bulbasaur who knows what's going on. He knows that they're being exploited. yeah, did you ever watch Digimon?
Oh no. For whatever even though I didn't, I said I didn't watch the Pokemon TV show. There was something about watching Digimon that felt like you were really kind of defeated. Really, there was some kind of, what would you call it? Not rivalry, but you know, you would kind of look down your nose at the people that were into that.
So, like, almost like you were like cheating on the wife you never wanted to marry.
No, not quite like. It's more of just the sort of kind of tribalism. It's bigotry. So no. I was about Pokemon, and that was it. You couldn't be both. It was one or the other.
Like the generation before had what, like, who do you like, Blur or Oasis? And the generation before that had, like, who do you like, Elvis or the Beatles? And we had Pokemon or Digimon.
We talk about this stuff, and I feel like a bit of an old man, but apparently not old enough, because that has made me fucking sad. I'd rather argue about Oasis.
Oh dear. Well, do you have anything else to say about toilets or Pokemon?
Yes, but I'm not going to spend all my material here. I've saved it for next time.
or Facebook or anything? Or the mattress situation. So yeah, why doesn't your dad why doesn't he do like a sort of bounce house thing where you could mental?
Oh well,
You could convince him to sort of get air mattresses as well.
Oh no, not with those fucking dogs around. That'd be fucking toast. No, nothing inflatable, no water beds, nothing like that. The bounce house idea. Who's to say what this man gets up to when I'm not around? You know, he's quite reserved when I'm around. He likes to piss around with his phone. Check it out, it's Facebook.
Well, when you say as well that the beds are, there's 3 beds and they fill the room. I mean, I imagine they're on a bedrock of compacted Stella cans, right?
Oh no,
Black bin bags.
He's
So there's quite a bit of like move to them. Like I imagine it's quite soundproof.
Yes, no, yeah, it's actually great acoustics in there, which is great because at the end of the bed is his drum kit.
Right. Is that retro? Is there an end of the bed, or is that on a mattress, just not on a mattress?
It's the only thing that's not on a mattress. What little legitimate floor space there is reserved for
You
the
see,
drum
now
kit.
I'm imagining he lives in like Mr. Soft's world, where all the furniture is made out of pillows. He's constantly walking along like he's got a proper fun swagger, going, Mr. Soft. Do you remember those ads?
Just barely.
For soft mints. Why is it that the world in which you're living is so soft? And then he laughs like I did earlier.
Yes, I remember this fucking dude. Oh, it's a bit of a
not
nightmare.
Blobby.
No, but it would fit right in there.
Yeah.
It's like if you bleach, if you put Mr. Blobby on a wash, but too high.
No, it always scared me as a kid. I mean, Blobby was more scary, but the whole Mr. Soft thing, like the idea that I couldn't get out of his house because the doors and the door handles and the mechanism is all pillow.
Yeah.
And like even if I could, he could just crash through it because there's no walls or anything. It's all pillow. Like, oh god, no escape.
Why is he naturally in pursuit of you? You know what you fucking did.
I mean, he's going somewhere and he's eager to get there. He's got like a Darth Vader sort of walk. That guy's in charge of something.
He needs a wheelbarrow so he can more easily transport the body.
So how would you push it? Or you just get in it to go down hills?
God almighty.
It's not a wheelbarrow, it's a Tesco's trolley. And he's just committed to, 50p goes in there, I'm never going to get that back. What?
No, I just want to see more of this Mr. Soft. But apparently it was also a 1970s musical enterprise, and it's diluting my search results. I'm not happy about that. Oh, I've just got his fucking face. That's terrifying. No features. Yeah. I do kind of miss that era of TV where everything was a nightmare.
Yeah, like the Michelin Man was always kind of scary as well. And I remember a place I used to live with. Obviously, they had a contract with Michelin where they used their tires, and they painted the Michelin Man on the side of their shop themselves.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Goodyear came along and... Oh, not Goodyear, Michelin, duh. I'm pretty sure Michelin came along and were like, we'll paint your shop for you and give you the Michelin colours, but then they decided to add the Michelin Man, and it was like a cross between Stay Puft Marshmallow and the KKK.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrendous.
Yeah. The one that I didn't like was the phone from Direct Line, because it...
Oh, yeah, no one liked that.
Because, I don't know, it didn't behave... well, not the noise was fine, but the way it moved around, it didn't behave like a remote control thing. I just assumed it had a consciousness. It just had no way.
It didn't behave like a phone.
I just assumed it was alive. You know, it was just trapped inside this fucking thing. If you actually picked up that phone, all you would hear was these indiscriminate screams as it begged to find a way to communicate with you.
So you were saying like it was alive, but its natural form wasn't a phone.
No,
it was
no,
like
no.
almost
Just
like it had
conscious and trapped in a telephone.
been cursed to be a telephone. Yeah, I know what you mean, because it was sort of like that with Toy Story, where you thought, well, what if these toys end up on someone's shelf where the room is always occupied? Are they just like constantly in a like waking coma?
Yeah,
like just forever. Well, anyway. That's not worth thinking about.
Yeah, another time.
Like what? Oh, what if my chair was alive? What if all my furniture was alive? It would be very irresponsible to use any of it or manufacture any of it.
I suppose so. Yeah. So if you find your consciousness reincarnated in any kind of object, what would you go for?
I mean, can you, like, if you're reincarnated into like a fan or something, can you see? Do you have eyes? I mean, can you feel things?
That's a very good point. I don't know. All I would say is the only thing you know is that you are said object. And you're aware of when you're being used.
Well, like, what object would I be?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, all my mind is doing is going through answers that my better mind is going no.
Just don't even answer the question.
Don't answer.
Just don't listen to him. Move on.
I guess I would be like, you know, one of those nice leather hats that falcons wear.
Right.
That would be interesting.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Or I have fond memories of pushing an extremely old lawnmower. It was one of those that it's just blades connected to the wheels. You just push it and it goes. I'd like to be that.
Okay. No, I really like the idea.
Or like
of the
if I was just the right wheel, and then like my friends were like the left wheel and the blade and the handle.
All right, so it's a bit more of a community type vibe. Yeah, so you're not.
Yeah.
Some company. That's a good move. Yeah.
With a lawnmower family. But then is it more like we're some sort of horrible like death camp or mortuary or something where we're just shaving all these blades of grass that are all individuals too. We're just cutting them down, loading them into the plastic beck, which eventually will be thrown into the dustbin, and we just do this periodically. Is it like that, where we're all, this is what we're made for, but it's terrible?
I think you'd revel in it after a while. What are you talking about? Any excuse for bloodshed?
At least become apathetic, you know, like the Silence of the Lambs, where it's like, no, Clarice. What happens is you see that once, and then you become completely hardened to it. You're fine. Snap out of it. Scratch cards. That's what I would be. I'd be a scratch card.
Could you determine the outcome, or you just,
no.
one printed result? Would you be a winning scratch
no,
card, or a really disappointing one?
I'd be the sort of scratch card that didn't know if I was a winner or not, and inevitably I wouldn't be. And that's
so
it.
You'd be a tease.
Just like, yeah.
You don't know. Touch
Bit
me.
of drama. And then, yeah, it's like the first 20 minutes of your life is like, ooh, am I going to change this person's life? Oh, no. and then the next 800 years is you slowly decomposing in a landfill.
And at the end, it's like, yeah, worth it.
Worth it. I heard all sorts over the years, all sorts. I could definitely tell that they were using different sorts of tractors to compact waste. Speaking of compacted waste, I guess we should end now.
Wow, fucking golden segue, dude. Nice.
Thank you. A segue to we're not doing this now. Boring.
Ironically, hardly compacted waste, though. It's quite sprawled out.
Oh no, it's a lot. It's like if you look at what they did with all the 9/11 Twin Towers waste, and they just compacted it into an enormous cube that is so heavy that they can put it in the center of Manhattan and it stops it rising.
Right.
Because Manhattan's always rising.
Oh. I did not.
That's why they had to build on it. Otherwise, if they hadn't built anything on it, it'd be like 400 feet in the air now.
We can't reach it anymore.
Yeah, it'd be like the White Cliffs of Dover. Like sheer cliff.
Oh no, it's not sheer cliff. It just hovers out of the air, into the air, out of the sea. The Gardens of Babylon.
They have to make the Brooklyn Bridge like a slinky. It's getting longer and longer and steeper until it's just like a ladder that you have to climb.
It's too far gone. We can't help it.
Yeah. The only way to get up there is helicopter or elevator now.
It's better just forsaken, I think. Let it just leave the stratosphere.
that it becomes our naturally occurring space elevator. Like, all we have to do is fucking build like an escalator on the side of it, and it's done. Job done.
Let's make it out of rubber so it'll stretch.
Yeah, because it keeps on going up and up and up, and then eventually, like, our ancestors have to start to worry about what happens when we whack the moon out of orbit.
It falls straight
like a
to
baseball bat, like spinning around, and it finally reaches the moon. I guess it would start to scrape on it first, wouldn't it?
I guess so,
And
but
then
the next
eventually
orbit, it'll be deep enough to actually offer some real contact.
Well, I guess eventually it would dig into the moon like so deep that eventually the moon would just become attached and essentially become landlocked. So we just have this big mass that is constantly sort of getting further and further away, but that we can use as a space elevator to the directly to the moon.
Only to the moon. We're not going any further.
Only to the moon.
Or perhaps it just gets lodged in there, and it still keeps going, and it pushes it out of orbit.
Eventually, in like millions of years, eventually we're gonna the orbit will take longer and longer. So the moon's gonna eventually take hundreds of years to do a single orbit, because it's going to be further and further away from us. Eventually, it's going to crash into the sun. And then we'll be free. Then we'll have the charred end of the ever-rising Manhattan.
So, yeah. New York, do we need it?
If we had less buildings on it, damn straight.
Weighing it down.
No, it keeps on rising, and they just have to keep building more and more on it to stop it from rising up. And eventually, it gets to the point where, they have to mandate that 2/3 of the world's population has to live on Manhattan just to keep it down. I suppose what's the exact opposite of New York in terms of the globe? What would that be? Like Australia or something?
I mean, like a polar opposite, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not. It would be some spot in the Pacific Ocean, I'd really imagine. But let's just say, for argument's sake, yeah.
Well, wherever, just dig a big hole and see if you can lower a winch down and pull it up. Or then you do that and you make this big hole, and then it starts to drag the hole in, and eventually that whole hemisphere of the Earth starts to sort of compact. So then we're living on this sort of half sphere with a big stick coming out of it. Eventually, all it is a big snake going through space that we have to live on.
It's a bit more interesting than a fucking ball. I'll take that.
That's right. A ball. That's the least interesting thing
Yeah.
to live on.
When I meet new people, I have to tell them that I live on a ball.
What are you talking about? What could be more interesting than that? Imagine not knowing that and then suddenly being told and believing that's the truth. I mean, wow. Fuck. Okay. That's bizarre.
Sorry. Yeah,
So
I
people
forget
don't
I'm a
fall off or
sheep.
anything.
I live on a disc. I beg your pardon.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think would be more fun? If we lived on a cube and it was really fucking complicated, you have to fill in loads of forms to get over to the other side.
Yeah, that sounds fucking ace. Yeah.
Like, gravity still works in the same way, so that...
It's just eight perfectly equally opposing gravities. Oh, not eight. It's fucking six. I beg your pardon. God.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It still works the same way we know it. So it's like it becomes like unbearable the closer you get to an edge.
Right. Okay.
Like
the people from those regions are a lot
build
shorter.
on there. What would be a better shape? Do you think? Like have you heard about that conspiracy theory where people say that the Earth is hollow, and there are people living inside the Earth?
No,
and
I haven't heard that.
There's another sun that is in the middle of the Earth, and that's their sun.
I haven't heard that conspiracy theory. I thought I saw something like that on Star Trek, but I'm not surprised someone has adopted that as a way of life.
Yeah, as a core belief, a core part of their identity is to believe that. I mean, yeah, that's a real one.
Of course it is. I mean, you could, yeah, I'm sure you could make anything up. I'm sure someone out there has fucking taken it, has made a cause out of it.
I think if I was going to, like, get into, like, some rascally behavior and perpetuate one, I'd like to perpetuate the idea that we're in a computer simulation.
Right, okay.
I think that's very funny.
Because
I mean, really, you know, it's sort of the same idea of we've been created by God. It's like, well, it's sort of one of those things that doesn't matter. Like, if there is a secret inside Earth with a secret sun, like knowing about that and having access to that would change things. But if we were in a computer simulation, well, there's nothing we could do about that or anything, and you know, it's just out of our control then, just as if, you know, we were made by God, or just as if we have appeared by chance. It's like whatever.
Enjoy it, because on the outside,
but it comes with a nice healthy dose of paranoia as well.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I'm very sorry.
Don't offer apologies. You subject this.
I mean, I'll do another one, so I can't be that.
Yeah, exactly. You'll keep inflicting it.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Thanks. See you next time. Oh, and thanks for the artwork as well. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Keep it coming. Bye.
Bye.